Hi, this is John of Trish and John's Gardening Channel. Today's May 24th, 2015, and today we're going to be putting our 9 pepper plants in the ground. We've got 3 different kinds of pepper plants. We seeded those pepper plants on February 8th, which is 105 days ago, so they're well ready to get in the ground. It's a beautiful day today. It's going to be in the 70s and sunny, and it's going to be that way all week. It's actually going to be getting up into the 80s this week. So perfect day to put them in and a perfect week to get them started. The other thing we're going to be doing today is we're going to be putting in a couple more of our tomato plants. We're going to be doing most of the work on our tomato plants tomorrow. We'll probably be putting the bulk of our tomato plants in, but we're going to be putting those 3 in that you see there. And we've got another one way back there. As you can see that guy back there, that is a sun gold. We're going to be putting 3 of them in a row back there. I love the sun gold. It's a fantastic tomato. We're happy with that. Beautiful orange little cherry tomato, and can't wait to get those started. So anyways, let me start with the peppers. Again, we're going to be putting them in this general area that you see here. Unlike the tomatoes where we put them in the grow pots, we're going to put them directly in the ground, but we're going to amend the soil very similar to what we did with the tomatoes, with a garden soil, a good garden soil, some cow manure, azomite, a good fertilizer, Epsom salt, a good amount of Epsom salt, and perlite. So let me get started. I'll get the holes dug here, and then we'll take it from there. So we've got the first 3 holes dug for our pepper plants. We dig these holes just about 18 inches deep. We're going to be backfilling them mostly with the native soil, but we are going to amend the soil with some perlite. We're going to be adding some azomite, trace minerals for the soil. I really like to use that, and I think it actually makes your peppers taste better by using that, and I just love using that. Epsom salt, peppers love Epsom salt. You really can't use too much of that. A good organic fertilizer, you could use anything you want. I just happen to have the Happy Frog, and I'll be using that up today. We've got some garden soil. We'll be using a little bit of that, and then some, get over here, some good cow manure. So let me set the camera up. We're going to be putting the first 3 peppers in, are going to be our Chinese 5-color peppers. Again, these are 105 days old. You can see that they're doing unbelievably well. They're ready to go outside. We've hardened them off over the last 3 or 4 weeks now. We've been putting them outside, so they're ready to go. So let me set the camera up, and we'll show you exactly what we do to put these in the ground. Okay, before we put these plants in the ground, I just want to show you a couple things. Number one, this stub here and this little nub here, that's where we pruned them back last time. We did that just about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and you can see what that has done is created all new growth here. It's made very sturdy branches, offshoots, and it's also made the main stem stronger. So that's exactly why we pruned the plants early on, and as you can tell here, it's really no detriment to the plant. This plant is incredibly healthy. So now another thing, before we put them in the ground, I've trimmed back some of the lower growth here, some of the little leaves. Just trim them back, and right where this branch is off is we're going to leave that. Everything above that we're not going to trim at this point. And we're also going to plant up to about this node. I want to put another inch of this plant in the ground when we go ahead and drop them in the soil. Another thing, one last thing before we put these in the ground is I want to show you these blossoms. These have been blossoming in the house for the last 2 or 3 weeks now, and we've been trimming them back. You can see not too many blossoms here, but I've been trimming them back because I want this plant to really concentrate all of its strength and energy on creating leaves and getting really strong. So now that I'm putting it in the ground, we'll go ahead and let this plant do its thing as far as creating blossoms. So taking this guy out of the pot, out of the grow pot, and you can see here there's really no root bound condition at all. Again, that's what we're going for. This plant again has been in this pot for 105 days. The first thing we're going to do is put some good cow manure in the bottom of the hole. I also want to put in some perlite. The deeper we get the perlite, the better. It'll help it retain water. Got some azomite, a handful, again some Epsom salt, good handful of that. The all-purpose fertilizer, get that in there well, and some of the garden soil. Now what I'm also going to be putting in here is be backfilling with some of the native soil. get that mixed in well. And get one layer, and we're going to do the same thing again. So I like to do it in layers. This way you can mix it better. Kind of sets layers up. More of this. There's a little bit more. And some more dirt here. So again, we'll just mix that in. You can see it mixes right in. You don't have to worry too much about it being mixed in, because it'll almost disappear once you put that soil in there and mix it. So, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and plant this guy. You can see here, maybe you can see, hopefully you can see it's not root bound at all. That's why we use the grow pots, but it's ready to go. This plant wants to get in the ground, so we're just going to break up the roots a little bit. And then a little bit deeper. So him. And again, I'm burying about a 1 inch or so of the stem. Peppers can tolerate that. We've been burying these deeper and deeper as we've gone here over this, over the uppotting process. So that's about it. Now, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a well. I'm going to leave a deep well here like this. I could always come back and fill it in later if I choose to. But I like to leave that well. This way when I water, all of the water will concentrate on stay in this one area. So that's it for that plant. Just tamp it down lightly. Maybe a little bit more. Top dress it with this garden soil. A little bit more cow manure, just a little bit, not too much. Really, that's it. I'm just going to repeat that for the next 2 pepper plants, and then we'll start on the other 6. The next thing we want to show you here is the way that we plant our sun gold tomatoes. It's a little bit different than the way we plant some of our other tomatoes, in the fact that we like to plant our sun golds directly in the ground. But the trick is you want to plant these in a really deep hole. You can see we've got our hole dug. It's just about 1.5 times the height of the shovel. Really, the deeper the better. Now that's going to help with drought tolerance. The deeper you can get the roots during the summer months, the plant will be able to survive because there'll be moisture down at the bottom of that deep hole. Now, another thing that you're going to see we did here is we trimmed this sun gold as it grew. This one's quite lanky, but we trimmed off all the bottom branches, and we've also trimmed off the main stem. You can see in the center shot there, hopefully that's the main stem right there. That was trimmed. So we had one main stem, and by cutting that back, we did that probably a couple weeks ago, we promoted the growth of this offshoot, which you can call a sucker, and we've also created this offshoot. So now, in effect, we've got 2 main stems, and we're going to go ahead and let those 2 main stems grow and become the primary grow stems for this plant. Okay, so what we've done here, we've amended the bottom of the hole with our cow manure, our good garden soil. We've got the azomite, the perlite, the granulated fertilizer, and the Epsom salts. And we've backfilled with the natural, the native soil here. We want to introduce this plant to the native soil, number one, so that when it sends the taproots down into the native. Okay, so here's our progress so far. We've got 6 of them in, and we have 3 more to go. But we did dig the holes for those guys, so most of the work is done. And I've also started to dig the hole for the, one of the tomatoes that we're going to be putting in here in a minute. So that's an update, and we'll be back.
Okay. No. Oh, look, there's my shadow.
Okay.
I'm stepping all over what? It's okay.
Mm-hmm.